week 9 of the fantasy football season. And he has a few wide receivers I would drop this week. The first guy, Russell Gage of the Atlanta Falcons. So Russell Gage, I thought he was going to step up and play a big role here, with obviously Calvin Ridley taking a step away from the game, and who knows when he'll come back this season, if at all. So right here, Russell Gage last week came back in week 7 at Miami and had a great ball game. 4 catches, 67 yards, and he found the end zone. But week 8 versus Carolina, he didn't get targeted once without Ridley there. And he had obviously the goose egg. So right here, he's a wide receiver I definitely can't trust as Russell Gage. And it looks like Tajay Sharp and Zacchaeus are going to be the 2 wide receivers filling in for Calvin Ridley at this time. And obviously Cordell Patterson lined up coming out of the backfield as a receiver. And also in the slot and the outside where they're going to line them up in different positions. But right here, I can't trust Russell Gage. I thought he was going to be a breakout guy now as the number 2 wide receiver coming into the season. And now especially with Ridley out, but he's just an inconsistent ball player at this time right now is Gage, and he's definitely a wide receiver I would drop this week. The second wide receiver is T.Y. Hilton of the Indianapolis Colts, so everyone was hyped up about T.Y. Hilton coming back from injury a few weeks ago, and he had a good ball game in that one when he returned in week 6 versus Houston, 4 catches, 80 yards. Then week 7 at San Francisco, he missed the game, and then week 8 versus Tennessee, he took a monster hit that concussed him most likely in that one, and he finished 2 catches, 16 yards. So it looks like his week 9 status, no way, if he's got a concussion, he's going to be cleared on Thursday versus the New York Jets. And right here, T.Y. Hilton the last 2 or 3 seasons, very injury prone, and a player you just can't trust. I'd rather take a chance on a guy who's got a chance to break out instead of stashing Hilton on my bench, where he's either going to get hurt or you can get basic games out of him. So right now, he's owned in 46% of fantasy leagues. And in my opinion, that's just way too many leagues that T.Y. Hilton's owned in. And he's a wide receiver I would drop this week. And the third and final wide receiver is Robbie Anderson of the Carolina Panthers. So Robbie Anderson had a great season last year with Carolina. But this year, he's been a total train wreck for the Panthers and fantasy owners who took him in the first 6 or 7 rounds of their fantasy leagues. This year in PPR leagues, he's only reached double-digit fantasy points twice, and he got hurt in that ball game as well, week 8 at Atlanta. He got shooken up, but he came back, and he only had 1 target in the game. Week 9, another tough matchup versus the New England Patriots, and right now, he's just not the spot, especially in 10 and 12 team leagues, in my opinion. He's just shown nothing this season. Only 50 fantasy points in PPR leagues in the first 8 games of the year, and that's just not getting the job done. So I don't know why he's still owned in 54% of fantasy leagues, but he's a wide receiver I would drop. So that's a few wide receivers I would drop in week 9 of the fantasy football season.